Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Thoughts from the Round Table.
I'm Pierce,
And I'm Jacob.
and today we are going to be going over the movie Bird Box.
I think this is just a really good choice by the people who voted on our Twitter poll.
Kind of topical.
Yeah, and so I think there's actually a lot to talk about this movie. Even if we kind of lose track of the movie, which is inevitable, we will. We always do.
It's true.
I think there is still a lot to talk about.
Yep, so with that, please join us at the round table.
So, for those of you who don't know, Bird Box is a movie that is a Netflix original, and it stars Sandra Bullock and a couple other actors, one being John Malkovich, who's Lenny in Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, that's the only two that I even knew existed.
Yeah, I think...
there's another guy, and he's funny, and he was also in
Get Out.
Get Out. He's
And
the
there's-
funny guy in Get Out, too.
There's a rapper in this movie, too.
But he's only in it for, 2 seconds?
Yeah. I don't know. He didn't really add much, but kind of cool still, if you like that type
I guess
of
if
thing.
you like rap.
Yeah.
It didn't really do much for me, but that's just me.
Yeah. This movie, for those of you who don't know, we'll try to, again, give a brief introduction to the movie. It's a post-apocalyptic movie, I guess, from, people are dying, the world is falling apart, government's crashing, etc. But instead of maybe zombies or a disease, it's from demons.
Maybe?
We're never really told.
It's like the wind and the leaves.
Yeah,
That's really the only thing we get.
and seen. Anything with your eyes, you're like, no go. Player.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, one thing I don't get at all with the movie is how was it that when they went inside, they could open their eyes? Did the demon only have power over nature?
I think this is pretty clear that demons don't know how to open doors. So
I guess.
I don't. That's a huge flaw that I didn't think about until this moment right now,
Yeah,
and
that's what I
that
was
makes
thinking
me
the
really
entire
upset.
movie. Why did the door stop them? Why was it that every time they even stepped outside of a house, they had to be blindfolded? But if it was nature, I'd get it. But they were doing it in the streets.
It's because the dark. There's my counter to that point. Because remember, they had to newspaper all the stuff. If not, it could get in.
But let me counter that point again. And remember, Jacob, the first time we saw someone be affected by these wind demons was in broad daylight. Actually, it was in a hospital, indoors.
Right, but okay, so there's the scene where they're having babies, and he rips the newspapers from the windows, and then people get possessed because the other mom runs out.
Oh, so maybe it is just...
It's sunlight, but it can happen in the dark, I assume.
Yeah, well, of course it could happen in the dark. I mean, it's demons.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much a tiny bit of what's going on in the movie. Post-apocalyptic world.
They're on a boat.
They are on a boat for a good amount of the movie.
Basically, the entire movie that's set not in a flashback, they're on a boat.
And I just want this to be clear. I kind of like this movie more than the other movies we've watched. Those are just bad. This one, I feel like, kind of good actors, neat story.
It was a neat idea. I don't know. I was very bored in this movie, in this viewing.
And I get that. I think that's, the only thing that kept me going is it was popular at the time. And I was like, ooh, I want to be cool and know what's going on. So I
Yeah.
watched the movie. But, I think the only reason I was interested in this viewing, I mean, already I knew what happened. I knew who died. I knew who didn't.
Yeah.
I was just really excited for, man, I know exactly how I'm going to relate this to life right now with coronavirus
Yeah.
and real life. And I can't wait to talk about this on the pod.
Yeah. No. Okay. So before we actually jump into there, let's talk a little bit more about a couple questions I had with the movie itself.
Okay.
What's the deal with the birds?
They can see the demons.
Why?
I don't know. There's just a little neat trick.
That
It's
just
like-
birds?
Yeah.
Is it certain species?
I don't think so.
Just any bird.
I would assume.
Any member of the bird family?
So
Would a penguin
did you
be
ever
able to
watch?
see it?
Did you ever watch Walking Dead?
No.
Oh, there's this scene when you first meet this girl. She has pet zombies, and she's cut their jaws off so they can't bite people. and they keep other zombies away from her. I think it's kind of like that.
That's kind of
It's like-
genius.
it's
That's
kinda-
kind of a good move.
That
on
is a
girl.
good move, by the way.
Did she get what was the end game with that girl?
Oh,
Was
she's
she-
still alive. She was the ninja.
Oh, I remember the ninja. Did she own the tiger?
No.
Because I remember there was a tiger in that show.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that far.
Okay, because I know like 3 things from Walking Dead. I knew there was a ninja, I knew there was a tiger, and I knew there was a man named like Hershey, like the
Yeah,
chocolate.
I liked him. He was a good character.
Yeah,
It kind of sad that show, like, I don't even think it got worse. I just think people quit caring. It's hard to keep a show because they're on like their 9th season.
did it get worse or just did it never get better?
I think that's it. Never got better. You got to wrap up a show eventually.
Yeah,
I think the greatest way to wrap up that show is everyone dies.
that would've been awesome.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
that's the apocalypse, to be honest with you.
True.
And this movie kind of that is one thing I would like to tip my hat to this movie for. They weren't afraid to kill people.
Everyone died. Really,
Yeah, except for, like, the
Sandra Bullock.
And boy and girl.
I have to say I love the names of the kids.
They were very cool.
They're clever.
They're not clever. I just like that they're boy and girl. And
No, I think it's clever.
the reason they did that is because she didn't want to gain attachment to him.
In case they
If they
died.
died.
Yeah, I got that. But I mean, thinking logically here, that's a good way of keeping track. You know, say you have like 6 kids, right?
Yeah.
Are you are you following what I'm saying?
I'm
you,
just prepared to be
if-
disappointed.
if you have 6 children, and maybe they're all young, like little, then if you ever like lose track of their genders, it would be in their names, like boy 1, boy 2, boy 3, girl 1, girl 2, girl 3.
I don't want to ruin your plan.
Yeah.
Why don't you just give them names?
Well, yeah, that could also work.
Yeah, so
But like, what about the names like
that
Morgan?
plan's gone.
Huh? What
I
about the
don't know.
Morgans?
Don't
of
name
the
your kid
world?
Morgan then.
Because Morgan can be guy and girl. Clyde.
There are lots of names that could do that.
Yeah, so you just have to stay away from that.
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've been thinking about that for a
A
while.
little tangent there.
Yeah.
But,
So I guess the movie really, besides, we've touched on what the movie was about. Really, to be honest, there wasn't really a lot there.
I think this is a movie you can take at face value.
Yeah.
It's not like a movie where you're reading like a classic literature, a piece of classical literature,
Mm-hmm.
and it's, multi-layered, and there's different meanings for stuff. I don't think there's meanings for anything.
True.
I think this is just at face value.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not saying that's bad, but this movie is fine to watch if you're bored. But, like, is it going to be considered one of the best movies ever? No. And it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone goes into this movie thinking, you know what? This is going to be the best movie I've ever seen.
Except I think people did do that, like at the beginning. Like when this movie first dropped, the hype was unreal.
It
for
was.
I don't get. That's where I'm really like struggling to find like what did people see in this movie that's like that made it as big as it was.
I mean, I guess the interesting concept, we've never seen really an apocalyptic world run by demons. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
I can't get over how neat of an idea that is. But, like, I think that's what people really liked, I guess. And I guess Sandra Bullock was pretty good in it.
She wasn't bad by any means.
No, and I don't know, you couldn't really get attached to any of the characters. I think my main issue with this movie is flashbacks.
There's so many.
I have never been a big flashback guy in movies.
No, I feel like they just
Nor in books. Like, I just don't know. Tell the
just
story and then
throws it.
continue it on.
yeah.
Tell it just in chronological order.
And I don't even think that's really like hard to do. It's
No.
the thing. Like you could have done this movie in chronological order, and it would be the exact same movie.
Right.
Nothing is gained by like the flashback scenes being a flashback. It's not like a big reveal. It's not.
No. I don't understand. I mean, what did we gain from the flashbacks? Nothing.
I think the only reason it was to break up the monotony that is
The boat scene.
just in the boat.
Yeah, because if you wouldn't have had cuts,
Everyone would have turned off the movie.
and there would have been interesting parts in the boat, her going and then the girl trying to save her,
Yeah.
the man trying to eat them or whatever to show them the light. Those are it. And the rapids, I guess.
Yeah.
That's it, though. Like, I don't want to watch. Obviously, no one wants to watch that for the 30 minutes that the boat scene was, if not more.
Oh my gosh, it was way more than 30.
But no one wants to watch them riding a boat for 30 minutes. And I understand that that's probably a pretty important part because that's what the whole story's been kind of leading up to. But I don't know. Maybe come up with a more interesting concept for them to get there then.
Hot take. Get ready for this.
Yeah.
Get rid of the boat scene. Completely.
Okay.
I just think that the movie would be way better if, say, everyone didn't die in the first 20 minutes, and instead they died slower.
Okay.
So, like, spread out the deaths a little bit more. Keep our band of characters. Keep the characters there long enough for me to actually care that they're there. And not just think, well, one more scene and she's dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they started getting in a little pattern. It'd be like, here's a flashback scene, someone dies.
Yeah.
Here's a flashback scene, someone dies.
Right.
Keep it. Keep a little bit of suspense. Maybe they don't all die. Maybe some of them make it.
Yeah. So
You know what I mean? Maybe the boat ride is not just boy, girl, and Sandra Bullock, who I cannot ever remember her name.
I can't remember it now.
We looked it up so many times.
I'm gonna look it up just because out of curiosity. But I think this is like our 4th time looking it up.
It starts with an M. I know that.
It's not Molly either.
Every time I think it's Molly.
Me too, because that's what the girl sounds like when she says her name.
Yeah.
Molly, but that's not it.
It's not.
Bird Box on IMDb. Sorry for my obnoxious typing.
Mallory. I know it. I know it. It's Mallory.
Yeah, that's another thing. I never got really attached to the characters. The only one I can remember is Tom. Like I've got
Which
to
one
pull
was Tom?
the dad, the
So
black,
Tom
the
was-
African American man.
Yeah, no. I know, Douglas.
Yeah, I've got the list of names pulled up here. Olympia was the other mom.
Olympia?
That was her
No.
name. Yes, it was.
Olivia.
No, it's Olympia.
It's Olympia?
Yeah, because that's what they named the girl.
I thought
too.
they said Olivia at
no,
the end.
see that would make too much sense. So I was kind of out on
Olympia?
that. Yeah,
Is that even a name?
yeah.
That kind of throws me off.
It was the Pack-a-Punch shotgun Call of Duty's.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then that no real character development except for Sandra Bullock's character,
Yeah.
whose name I'm not looking at this now and I forget it already.
Mallory.
Okay.
M-A.
Lorei.
Okay. E-I?
Yeah. Oh, I-E. Sorry.
I was like, what in the...
Yeah. So I don't know.
I didn't care about any single character in this entire movie.
Me either.
I think that was my big problem. That's why I couldn't stay interested, because like I couldn't even remember their names. Like I thought it's a very cool concept, but I did not care about the characters.
So before we get into the coronavirus part, so how do you make this movie better?
That's what I was saying before. I think you one, there are 2 interesting characters I thought that I really wish we got to see more of. You know what? I'll give it 3. We got Funny Guy. Funny Guy was writing an apocalypse novel
Yeah.
before this happened. I would love to see a movie about a guy who is writing a book about the apocalypse, and then the apocalypse happens.
It could be like a horror comedy movie.
Yeah, he'd be like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And this guy would be the perfect dude
To star in
that.
Yeah.
I thought that he had like a genuinely like cool thing when they said that. I was like, "Wow, this could be really cool." You know, it sees what he thinks it was gonna be versus what it is like, and how that could affect his book even. I think that would have been a cool bit to add, just as like a side character. But they killed him first. They killed my favorite guy first. Of course, they always do. Let's harken back to Truth or Dare. Who was the first one dead?
Ronnie.
Ronnie, my favorite character. Who's the first one dead in this one? Funny dude.
Charlie.
Charlie is his name.
What other characters? You said you had 3. What other ones did you find interesting?
I liked Old Man. I liked Old Man with the alcohol problem. What was his name? Douglas. I said it earlier. I liked Douglas. I thought he had a cool dynamic of him not wanting to let people in versus everyone else kind of feeling bad. He was like that crusty old man that just wanted to live. Respected.
Yeah, I think he's the only one that would actually make it in an apocalypse situation.
Yeah. I think everyone else was a little soft.
Because I've talked to numerous people about this subject, not demon apocalypse in general, numerous times. I love it. Anything that takes place in the apocalypse, I'll watch. So, just to get that out, I've thought about this a lot. I'm ready. He is the only one that will make it for one reason. He's selfish. You got to be selfish in the apocalypse. Take no prisoners. You know, we're not here. This isn't a charity case. This is me trying to survive. And everyone failed, and that's why everyone's dead.
You're right. I mean, that's why I think he'd be cool. He was a foil character, and they cut him out.
They just killed him.
And the only other guy I thought was interesting was the guy who fooled him.
Yeah, but he's dead.
Yeah, but I think he actually served his purpose accordingly. That was the one character death I was happy when it happened. Not happy as in oh man, I'm glad this dude's dead, but I think that was actually a perfect place for his story to end.
Yeah, I wish. The only thing is, I mean, I understand they can't do it because they're following this group of characters throughout their demon apocalypse adventures.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have been interesting to see more of how because I think he's lying when he says they made us open our eyes.
The crazy I think he people. Wanted to do it himself.
Yeah, and so I think that would be interesting. I mean, there's only so much you can do in this certain apocalypse because, a lot of people die. But I think it would be kind of cool. They wanted to make a sequel. Bird Box made a lot of money. Wouldn't surprise me if they were making some sort of sequel.
I guarantee you there'll be a sequel.
If they did, something from the demon's eyes, like someone who's possessed, running around trying to convert people, Bird Box producers, hit me up and I'll let you take the idea. So,
because I do think if they make a sequel, I know that they're going to follow Sandra Bullock's character. I know that they will. I know that it'll just take off where they are and something will happen in this perfect little world. I think it's just cool. I want to see it from another perspective.
Yeah.
Screw Sandra Bullock. Her story's over.
She's safe.
But the apocalypse, that has a bigger all-encompassing umbrella almost.
Yeah, I don't know. If they do a sequel, I know it won't be good. But if they want to do it right, take my idea. You don't even have to pay me. Just buy me McDonald's.
Just buy you McDonald's? Is that all you need?
Yeah.
Just
for my ideas. McDonald's? From the idea bank.
Yeah, just $3 McDonald's meal.
Yeah. So our next really most important part that we wanted to talk about is, right now, this is pretty topical, but the coronavirus is obviously going on, and we're seeing a little bit of craziness.
A little bit of panic in the streets.
And I think that we can kind of see this in this movie, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, it almost felt exactly like the coronavirus situation.
Yeah, I don't think the coronavirus will be as bad as this.
No.
No, I know what you're saying, but before people take our words the wrong way.
Yeah.
We're not hoping this happens, but if it was, it would be like this.
I think you said something very interesting when we actually watched the movie. Why didn't we get an apocalypse like this? Why is ours so lame in comparison?
Yeah, okay, let's say this does blow the world up or whatever.
Yeah, let's say this is in the end of the world, which I'm going to look you straight in the eyes and say, that is not what I think. Okay, we're purely hypothetical here.
Yeah. I think that we got the short end of the stick.
True.
All the movies they get zombies, aliens, demons. Wind demons.
Wind demons from the sun.
And guess what we get? Something that's related to the freaking common cold?
That's so lame.
Yeah, and
That's
guess
so
what?
stupid.
And it's going to kill people. Why can't we get zombies? That'd be kind of cool.
Okay. Crazy question here, right? Say that the death tolls remain the same. Because people are going to die. That's inevitable, right? Say the death tolls remain the same. The infected rate remains the same. Would you rather it be coronavirus or zombies?
Zombies.
It'd be way cooler. You can't make a movie about coronavirus.
Think how many...
I mean, you can make a boring documentary.
Yeah, shout out Netflix for doing that already.
How are they already doing it?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Because there's that
the situation's not even resolved.
There's that new documentary called Pandemic or something.
Oh my gosh.
But, okay, the zombie one.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. We do a real-life zombie movie. It's a real-life zombie apocalypse, but people aren't getting affected. One in whatever many people get bit by infected person.
Yeah.
And get it. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll take those odds,
Yeah.
But think of the great documentaries our generation will be able to make.
That would be unreal.
Living through the zombie apocalypse.
That's
a
a
small town story.
Oh my gosh. I'd pay money to watch that.
I know. We could have it out in theaters.
I'm sure we could. And it would be so entertaining. You could foil it to like all the zombie movies,
Yeah.
but like this one's real. I mean, if the deaths remain the same, I feel like I could better defend myself against a zombie than this cold thing.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe it's better.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. I defend myself against zombies by carrying a gun.
Or
I
a machete.
I defend myself from the cold by washing my hands.
Lame.
Pass.
Lame.
Give me coronavirus
Yeah.
before I wash my hands.
That's what I'm talking about. They want me to use personal hygiene? No. I will be a slob. As an intelligent man on The Office once said, washing your hands is just cushioning them, right?
Yeah,
Stick it in some dirt.
I agree. You know, let's
Build that immune system.
if we're gonna have a disease, let's go all in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that the funny thing about this movie is that you guys voted for it while this whole thing is going on, and the beginning is exactly like this, where the sister who dies. Spoiler alert. The sister is like, tell that to the soccer moms who are punching each other in the face over toilet paper.
With
And I was like, does this take place in Seymour in 2020?
Oh my gosh. The whole coronavirus situation in general is kind of wild and a little bit out of hand.
Agree.
I think that it's getting a little bit crazy. We're closing down restaurants, we're closing down stores. People are afraid that they're not going to have enough toilet paper for the next 2 years. I don't know.
Think of it this way. If we were in the Bird Box world, are they closing down restaurants?
No.
And I feel like that's like, kind of worse because like a lot of people die in that.
I feel like we're doing a good thing. I feel like closing down like the restaurants and the stores and everything is technically, looking at it from a certain angle, the right move. Definitely one of the more moral moves when you take it on its own. But then you layer in the consequences of an American healthcare system that is not prepared or equipped to handle anything like this.
True.
An American welfare system that is not equipped to handle anything like this. We have people losing their jobs.
Yeah.
It's gonna tank
Small towns are going to struggle.
hard.
Yeah. Because, for example, this is just first world problems at its finest. And at this point, that's all we're talking about. So it's fine. So I'll just complain. I'll drop my 2 cents in, and then we'll probably finish the podcast shortly after. But I just want to say, all I wanted today was to go to Bullwinkle's.
Yeah.
First, let me restart. I wanted to watch Bird Box. Go to Bullwinkle's, which is in Seymour. It's a great restaurant. Highly recommend once they open again.
If they open
If
again.
they open again.
If we ever open anything again.
Yeah. Go to Bullwinkle's, record the podcast, do some other stuff, watch Lego Masters. You can just take Bullwinkle's idea and rip it out of the equation. And guess what we had to get? McDonald's. I like McDonald's. McDonald's, for the shout out, please sponsor us.
Please, McDonald's, I'm begging you.
But I like Bullwinkle's. I like sitting down.
Yeah, I don't like just going to like a restaurant and just going to the drive-thru forever now.
I didn't think it would bug me. I'm like, oh, I only go through the drive-thru anyway.
It's the option.
Yeah.
It's just the thing where maybe I want to go to McDonald's and maybe I don't want to go through the drive-thru. Maybe I want to sit down and enjoy my meal.
And guess what? Now you don't have that option.
I don't. No one does.
I know.
Maybe I want to go to Texas Roadhouse and eat nothing but rolls and order off the kids menu
Guess
so
who
that I
does-
can get my rolls for extremely cheap.
Guess who doesn't?
High IQ idea.
Guess who doesn't have that option anymore?
It's us. It's everyone. No one can do it.
Yeah, so
It's very frustrating, and I know that this is technically the best thing we can do to limit the spread of coronavirus.
and or Bird Box demon virus, because it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time before the sun demons get us to commit suicide altogether.
Yeah. So with that somber note, we leave you on. Thank you for listening to our podcast.
Please be safe and practice good hygiene.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as we made fun of it, please wash your hands.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of important.
Yeah. And while you're washing your hands, once they're all clean, you can open up your computer and check out things like our Twitter page.
That's a good idea.
You can check out our website.
You can check out us on all the other podcasting platforms.
Yeah, if you're still one of the people who listen on YouTube, thank you. But also, check out our other podcast platforms.
We're on a lot of things. We're on like Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Leave us a rating.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Heart out to people who would give us ratings. Because, to be honest, we haven't got a single rating yet. But, like, I'd love you if you did it.
Yeah, please. I'm looking at you, people watching on YouTube.
I'm watching.
If you don't want to listen on podcast, at least slide over to Apple Podcasts and say, hey, these guys are funny on YouTube. I bet they're the same without the video. So I'll leave them a 5-star.
I'll give you a little hint, guys. It's the same video. If you like it on YouTube, just go over to Apple Podcasts and just, leave 5 stars. It helps us a ton.
It does.
It really means a whole lot for us and getting our podcast out there to more people. So please do it.
Also, our one last shout out. Pierce is showing it on his water bottle.
Do you see this?
And then I will show you my unbranded laptop. I hope this is in screen. I'll put it above my face so I know it is. But Thoughts from the Round Table now have stickers. They're not mass produced yet.
No, we're just kind of using this as like a for us thing. But I mean, if you guys want them,
if you're interested, let us know because that would be awesome.
We want.
I also have one.
Oh yeah. We got a whole pack of like sample stickers for us ourselves. But like they're pretty cool. They look really cool. They look awesome. You can show it to your friends and be like, wow, look at this cool table on this water bottle.
Everyone will love it. Everyone will be like, man, I want one of those.
I
Hook me
love
up.
tables.
I love tables. I love thoughts, and I love from the. So
I'm not a fan of round. We can take or leave round.
Yeah.
But
if it was a square table, I'd feel the same.
Yeah. But I mean, it's there. It's a table. It's there.
All right. So again, thanks for listening, and we will see you for Clone Wars Quickie tomorrow.
Goodbye.